What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Jermell Charlo and Terence Bud Crawford. These guys got in a war of words yesterday, last night, however you want to slice it or dice it. My days are off anyway. Right? They all cling together like Groundhog Day, right? But Terence Crawford responded to a comment that Jermell Charlo said on Instagram. He was like, that Terence Crawford shit, it ain't what it is. You don't really want, no smoke, basically. And that shit ain't really what you think it is or whatnot. Like Terence Crawford's calling out people like that's a smoke screen. And Terence Crawford responded, keep my name out of your mouth. And then war of words began. And Jermell Charlo said, you know what it is. I'm gonna let you make it. I think you're a cool fight, but don't bite off more than you can chew. Lions only, different. And honestly, I personally believe you can't fuck with EJ. Shrugging emoji. And Terence Crawford said, you too shall see, but don't make me show you the real king of the jungle, is because it ain't no lion, but care on like I said, keep my name out of your mouth, because when you see me, it's what's up and what's up this and what's up that. Stop faking for attention. Wow. And of course, it went back and forth with that for a while. And Terence Crawford said, pray for those who play with me. Good night. Well, look. First of all, these are seeds being planted. This is all this really is. Because what happens when Errol Spence fights Terence Crawford? What happens if that fight ever happens? Which I think it's more like an Al Heyman curse at this point. A lot of people say Matchroom curse, DAZN curse, but Al Heyman does have a curse too. He holds on to fights. He wants to make them build so much, aggressively intentionally holding on to these fights to make them bigger, because he's thinking about his banking account or the profit off of the fight. And what happens, someone loses. So that could happen. But what happens if the fight does happen according to plan? Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence Jr. He's coming after someone like Jermell Charlo. And he's just really showing him, I will do that. I don't think it'll be a catch weight, but I think he does have a lot of fish to fry at welterweight still. And I don't know if that's his last frontier. The question is, if a fight between Jermell Charlo and Terence Crawford could be made, you think Terence Crawford could actually make 154? So that's another question you ask yourself, because look, the next fight brews, and this looks like the next fight. I know Jermell Charlo and Errol Spence are friends. They're both trained by Derek James, and in Dallas, in the Dallas area, okay? And I feel that Jermell Charlo, I think he just actually put himself in a situation where if his friend Errol Spence loses, he's going to have to fight Terence Crawford. And if he beats Errol Spence, chances are he'll beat Jermell Charlo. In fact, I will give Terence Crawford a better chance of beating Jermell Charlo than Errol Spence. Errol Spence, let's put it this way. Errol Spence has a better chance of beating Terence Crawford than Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo, I've learned a lot from him in the Tony Harrison's fight. He's a big, strong, super welterweight. He is. He does have power, but he lacks fundamentals. He doesn't have too many dimensions to his game. Okay? He can be beaten by a single jab. Tony Harrison showed that to us. Okay? So it's one of those things where if he gets in there and he does take a fight with Terence Crawford, which I doubt. Okay, I don't think Al Heyman would allow that to happen, because like the Canelo rule. Okay, this is Canelo rule. If you got one loss, you can still be marketable, but two losses is out of the question. Okay, and I think that's what will protect Jermell Charlo if Terence Crawford beats Errol Spence. Okay, because this fight, don't look, make no mistakes. These are fighting words. These are not words of just smack talk because people are on lockdown. No, Jermell Charlo cared to share how he felt about the aggressiveness from Terence Crawford, and he said it was all a fluke, and that he got what he got. He got an invitation for a fight. This is exactly what it is. Nothing confirmed, nothing official, of course, but this is definitely war talk. You know, and I think that just gives Terence Crawford something else to shoot for. Let's put it this way. Let's say Errol Spence is too valuable to Al Heyman to fight Terence Crawford because he's too much of a threat. What would Terence Crawford then do? He would beat everybody else. Let's say he fights Sean Porter. He beats Sean Porter. He don't have the belt. He lost it to EJ. Then he fights Danny Garcia. He sums it up with Danny Garcia, which I think that'll be a pretty good fight. Then he fights Keith Thurman. Okay, then what? Errol Spence don't want to fight him. He's too valuable because they have Errol Spence doing whatever at that point. If he has 3 of those belts, right? If he can get that Pac-Man fight and grabs the WBA, right? So what would Terence Crawford do? Jermell, what's up? Fight me. Bob will send over the contract. Okay, so, you know, and at that point, Al Heyman may say, you know what, Jermell Charlo, if you want to fight him, go ahead. He might release the authority for Jermell to do so because, again, he doesn't want to put Errol Spence in there because he could use Errol Spence to fight someone like Canelo at 160 or Daniel Jacobs or someone else that he can use Errol Spence for, right? So that fight could happen. Stranger things have happened. But anyway, those guys went back and forth. They had a nice little scrap verbally. You guys tell me what you think about these two guys, Terence Crawford and Jermell Charlo. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.